Recorded Books presents From This Day Forward by Irene Hannon. Narrated by Thérèse Plummer. Chapter 1. Why had his wife's best friend called him now, a year after he and Cara had separated? Sam Martin dropped his black medical bag on the kitchen table and frowned at the message on his cell. It must have come in while he'd stopped for gas an hour ago on the way home from his house call deep in rural Missouri. Stomach clenching, he played the voicemail. "Sam, it's Liz. I need to speak with you ASAP. Please call me." At the thread of anxiety woven through her terse words, his pulse stuttered. Something was up. Something bad. He checked his watch. It would be almost 11 on the East Coast, but Liz had said to call ASAP, and waiting until tomorrow to find out the reason for her urgency wasn't an option. Not if he wanted to get a wink of sleep. He placed the call. 3 rings in, she picked up. "Sam." Her greeting was frosty.
"I just got your message."
"Out on a hot date?" He clenched his teeth.
"House call."
A few beats ticked by, but the chill in her tone didn't abate when she continued. "I've been having second thoughts about contacting you." No surprise there. She and Cara had been best friends long before he'd met his wife, and Liz had witnessed his ultimate betrayal. But he wasn't about to hang up without finding out why she'd called.
"I assume it concerns Cara."
Silence, followed by a heavy sigh. "Look, Sam, to be honest, you're the last person I wanted to call. If Cara's parents weren't living in Europe for a year, and if her sister wasn't 8 months pregnant and in the middle of preparing to move, I'd have contacted them. You were the only one available who might be able to intervene." Intervene?
"What does that mean?"
Sam tightened his grip on the phone. "I think Cara needs help. I've tried to talk with her about it, but she shuts me out and says she's fine. Except she isn't. Not even close. And I don't know what else to do." At the catch in her voice, Sam's heart stuttered. Nothing ever rattled Liz. Nothing.
"You're gonna have to back up."
He tried for a calm tone, but a quiver ran through his words.
"What's wrong with Cara? Is she sick?"
"Not physically." A sniff came over the line. "A month ago, Cara and another chef were leaving the restaurant late. A mugger accosted them in the parking lot. When her coworker tried to resist, the guy shot him. He died before the ambulance got there." Sam's lungs locked. Cara had witnessed a murder and possibly faced death herself. A wave of guilt crashed over him. If he hadn't made a mess of their marriage, he'd have been there for her through this trauma. Instead, she'd had to deal with it and the aftermath alone.
"Tell me,"
his voice rasped, and he cleared his throat. Tried again.
"Tell me about Cara."
"She tried to go back to work a few days after the shooting, but when she had a panic attack in the kitchen, the owner suggested she'd take a little time off. She did, but she's not improving."
"Explain that."
"She rarely leaves her apartment, and she never goes out at night. She gets anxious in the dark and can't sleep if she's by herself. She has persistent nightmares. I found that out when she stayed with us at the beginning. She left too soon, but she said she didn't want to wear out her welcome. I know she's not sleeping, though. Post-traumatic stress disorder. An easy diagnosis, but a difficult condition to treat. After the past couple of years, he could write a book about it."
"Does her family know about any of this?"
"No. She said they all have enough on their plates, and..."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?